close to my career in advertising. I've been in advertising for 25 years, working with some of the Fortune 500 companies on $1 million marketing plans. It's a side of it that you've seen. Um, and
Yeah.
so, being in ad agencies, you're always justifying your budgets and you're always talking to clients about how to spend their money on Facebook ads and online, outdoors. I worked on the U.S. Census as well. So I'm very, very pleased to have
Can I take
John.
Ballas?
Yeah,
I
I'm
want,
very
I
pleased.
want to I want to say a few things about Mr. Ballas, and I really
Okay.
appreciate Elton here. Mr. Ballas, I mean, in his book, Rapid ROI, and he pointed out a couple of things that I thought were outstanding in the book, and I'll read his bio. And let me read the bio first. In this book, John Bio shows how to avoid failure with simple executive methodology. You will learn how to apply learn lean and continuous improvement tactics daily by engaging how your organization operates with a powerful process to eliminate waste. He has coached more than 2,000 Kaizans and 100 super Kaizans and worked with over 100 companies to create their lean transformations. His specializes in assisting leaders to create profit while bringing rapid ROI into every aspect of their lean journey. I mean, book's amazing. It discloses one thing that I didn't know was that General Patton was dyslexic and he had a learning disorder. Ah, man. I mean, and he was one of my heroes too, General George Patton. And so amazing, brilliant mental mind, military mind. And so we're thankful that you're here and to share with us information about rapid ROI. Please share with us, Dr. Ballas. I mean, John Ballas. John Ballas. Okay.
I wish I had a doctorate degree behind my name. Thank you for that promotion.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I'm pleased to be here, and the book is different than other continuous improvement books because everybody's sort of got a cookie cutter approach to how they go about continuous improvement. And if you think about, even what Jerry Baker just shared with us, okay, and when I first came on listening to some of the other folks that were speaking, in today's world, if you're going to apply a diet, as an example, or if you're overweight, your organization's overweight, out of shape, there's two things you look at. You look at exercise and you look at your intake of food. Well, businesses are no different. So when we talk about lean, and most people think in the manufacturing world, but it's not. Lean can be applied to everything. I've applied this to medical hospitals, home building, obviously a lot of manufacturing, diverse manufacturing companies, everything from like toilet seats to high technology. So what the book is about, and I don't know if I can share my screen or not, but I could actually throw up just a couple slides, not PowerPoint by death by any means. So let me share my screen for a moment. And then do minimize that. Okay, so hopefully this works. All right, so what the book is about, Rapid ROI, is you see a samurai soldier on the front. And in the industry since COVID, there's 70 million more people calling themselves experts or coaches in the industry. In the world, if you become a samurai, if you think about this from Japan, where I studied in Toyota, when you think about a samurai, it's somebody that has dedicated their life to the art of warfare. Well, I've dedicated my life to the art of waste elimination and continuous improvement. Just very quickly, when I use Toyota as the base for this, when you think about this, the Toyota production system, that's what TPS is, it's come full circle. There's been all sorts of, and some of you might recognize some of these names, there's been all sorts of theories of continuous improvement. But here's an interesting thing in the book. When companies first start off, and I bet Jerry would validate this in diets. When you first start off your first year, 78% of companies are successful. Second year, they fall off, they get off their diet, and they're about 60% successful. And you can see the realm of what's truly happening year over year of trying to be sustainable in your continuous improvement process. Bottom line is the grass grows back, okay? So the reason you see that fall off, but it's actually worse than that, and this is what CEOs complain about. So when you think about companies that have done this for over 10 years, only 1.6% of them actually sustain their journey. So I'm sure Jerry could validate this. You know, everybody goes on diets. You know, there's all these different diets out there. There's all these different supplements, and people are constantly changing instead of sticking to a process that might work for them. The top 4 reasons, and this, if you think about this, this was a study done of over 10,000 executives in leadership roles. The top reason failing is a lack of communication. And you think about that, and everything we do in society today, ethically, or I call it, you know, credible thought processes versus dubious behaviors, is all broken down by communication. So, you know, 67% of leaders said there was a lack of shared information at all levels of an organization. And then number 2 is continuous improvement or false starts program of the month, switching programs once again, you know, and then 81% of the organization had a lack of organizational readiness. And then when you think about engagement of people within an organization, you know, that's number 3, how you align an organization. Or if everybody took their wallets out and put them on the table, I mean, that's what you get paid by. So you have to be aligned to your performance plan to a engagement. And then number 4 was resistance of the organization. So when you think about this, I use this as the baseline. You hear on TV, Toyota say they're world-class, okay? And that's because Toyota's on a journey of continuous improvement and has never changed their 5 fundamentals of what they do. So change is on the way. So when you think about this, what the book is about, rapid ROI, a lot of noise in the background, hopefully you can hear me. When you think about ROI.
Could you mute? Is everyone who's not speaking mute? Hold on.
Thank you. When you think about rapid ROI, it's about a fundamental 5-step methodology that's totally different in any continuous improvement. So there's 5 key steps, and one is mobilization, and that's different than mobilize. Mobilization is a continued engagement of your organization, and you can apply this to your personal life just as well as your professional life. Continues mobilizing, engaging the people around you, and then assessment. You know, am I overweight? Does my intake of diet got to change? Do I have a metabolic process changing in my body? As an example, I use the metaphor of health a lot in an organization. And then how do you redesign that? Do I need to take supplements? Do I need to exercise more? Do I need to change my diet? And finally, I would go through implementation to make those changes. And can you sustain the gains that you're making? So you lose 10, 15 pounds. Are you able to have the type of energy level the organization needs and continue? So when I look at this, I call it lean your way thinking. And that's where you get rapid ROI. If I try to lay a cookie cutter approach across each company is uniquely different by their DNA. And so, well, what the book is really about is how do you mobilize, how do you create an assessment, redesign, implementation, sustain. The thing my author did differently, or my publisher, sorry, did differently, and I really like this book, which I sold over 25,000 copies of, Managing Flow, is that the book is very short. So if you open it up, what I think most people found very interesting is there's a bunch of aha thoughts, and you just click on this. You can't see it on my screen. There's an icon, a QR code. You click on that QR code, and you get to actually hear from me. So the chapters are very short. And this is why I think I find people really like this style of the book. And a bunch of aha moments, and you can write in your own thoughts for your organization. So with that, you know.
What? Okay. I don't know. You froze there, John. Are you still with us? Give you a minute or so to bounce back. Maybe, maybe there's a haze in the line. But his comments have been very important in terms of keep creating and maintaining a clean and waste-free guide to your business operations. A lot of times we perceive that, of course, I mean, is spending resources properly with a very efficient model of return and your expectation for that return, and maintaining a very clean management profile. And so, how to do that, how to manage that process, and keep your train moving, keep your train moving. And also, and it's also important in his book that he talks about a learning cycle. Always maintain learning, and I mean, even as from an industry standpoint and the process of being in business, of course, maintaining, he has a calendar scale. If the assessment is done right, the value stream map will morph over time. So, because it gives you what looks like in the book, there are, okay,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
got
back.
92. Okay. How many business management conditions? 127 look like. 127. And these are practices that help you monitor and maintain efficiency?
Yeah, so when you think about it, those aha moments, those are the aha moments that were captured to help leadership and anybody go through and think about this aha moment and write your own aha moment. How does that reflect to my organization, my management style? How am I helping the health of my organization?
Okay. All right. Sitting on. It doesn't care. Okay. This is important. These are important facts. In the book, John, I mean, I see you really, you added great value to adapt the purpose. And I see the parallels to the samurai warrior. And I guess the stance is to cut out fat, right?
Yes. So
Yeah, I'm
I don't know
sorry.
where I cut off at, but yeah, the whole idea of the cover is, a samurai soldier is dedicated his life to warfare. I've dedicated my life to continuous improvement and elimination of waste.
Okay. Now you say waste, and I won't take so much time, but waste can take on so many different facets. I mean, especially when you think about manufacturing, when you consider, operations and marketing, and also efficiency in development of growth. Let's compare um, the transport of fuel from carbon fuel to electric. You know, electric seems so efficient, and the cost model, I don't know, I haven't done a comparison, but you know, what are the typical costing models in typical business environment that you've seen that that just can grow exponentially and just get out of control real fast?
Well, if you can visualize a value stream map, okay, of just some simple components. So cost is associated to understanding, you know, what it costs to run your organization minus expenses would equal your profit. But, you know, most people will accept waste in the process, and they really shouldn't. So I try to make value stream maps from a cost standpoint pop out at you. So I do them in pink and blue. And there's a story in my previous book. It has nothing to do with gender, but to the eye, pink is very irritable against white. So I build a value stream map out of Post-it notes, and you see the value add, the blue. Well, we don't want to work on the blue. We want to work on eliminating all the pink tags, which are non-value. In the same way in marketing, okay, I've done a lot of marketing Kaizen events. You know,
Please,
sales
please
events.
define Kaizen. Please define Kaizen. I've read it. It's community learning centers, but you share it with us, okay?
Yeah. So all Kaizen means in the Japanese language, what looks good. Okay. It
Okay.
became a methodology for understanding, here's my standard practice that doesn't look so good. How do I make it look good by doing a Kaizen event? And a Kaizen event can be, you know, as many as 2 people. It could be upward to, you know, I've done super Kaizen events where I've got 100 people working on an 8-week process to improve the business. And just to give you a magnitude of difference, a Kaizen event in Toyota could be eliminated in a couple minutes, okay? A super Kaizen event that I created is all about eliminating a lot of dollars. So when I've worked at Dr. Pepper Snapple Group, everybody thinks about soda pop. I like to give a little analogy there. So we took out, in one event, we took out $6.5 million out of the process of making soda pop.
Wow. 6.5 million in one process.
Took 8 weeks.
Wow. That's a lot of money, especially to save. Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, Elton, thank you, John. That was a wonderful presentation. If anyone has questions for John, please put it in your chat. And John, I'm going to connect with you and see if we can bring you back for our next session. My next speaker is Dr. John, and every one of you have, some of you haven't met him. So he is absolutely fabulous. He's written 4 books on health, primarily for diabetes and for cancer. So Dr. John Putalini has devoted more than 20 years to understand the causes and prevention of both cancer and diabetes. His insights presented in his books are based on his own experiences, as well as an understanding that he has had with the growth of cancer, as well as reversing diabetes. He is the author of Eat, Chew, Live, 4 Revolutionary Ideas to Prevent Diabetes, Lose Weight, and Enjoy Food. He was also selected as the best book in diet and nutrition. He has also written, as I mentioned before, The Real Cause and Right Cure, 8 Steps to Reverse Type 2 Diabetes in 8 weeks. And then he's also written a book when your child has cancer. And then he's also done another series of books. Dr. John is an avid podcaster. You'll find his website pretty interesting. There's many blogs and a lot of information that will help you with your health. So welcome, Dr. John. And we also have Michael, who's actually on the beach. So Michael, thank you for joining us. Michael has a non-profit organization, and I'll allow Michael. Can you quickly introduce us to your non-profit, and then we'll bring John in as well. We can't hear you. You have to unmute.
Okay, is that better? I hope. Yeah, my nonprofit is called Masquerade, and I'll show you the website later. MASKEURAID. It was developed based upon my experiences.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
True. So very true.
Yeah, we've got somebody talking. Can you mute?
Okay. Hold on.
Everybody, please mute. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's based upon my experiences with multiple myeloma and immunodeficiencies. And of course, the last year has really highlighted what immunodeficiencies can do to people in terms of keeping them from living if they catch some sort of disease. Basically, I started this before the pandemic, and the pandemic has highlighted it even more. So we basically Masquerade advocates for those with primary and secondary immunodeficiencies. We cross all the silos